everybody. It is day 4 of the blind football tournament here at the World Games here in Birmingham. A bit more overcast and a bit more of a breeze than what it was to start the day yesterday. Hopefully the sunshine comes out for the spectators and the players and volunteers who of course are here in England's second city. We move on to the women's side of the draw, and Group A in particular, as Japan, who have been very impressive so far, 2 wins from 2, take on Morocco, a side who have been very much a side very, very plucky themselves and have maybe surprised a few given some of their problems they've had coming into this tournament. Well, the standings look like this then in Group A going into the final round of group games in this 8-team tournament on the women's side of the draw. Japan top of the table and are of course on 6 points with 2 wins out of 2, yet to concede a goal. Incidentally, Morocco, who, as I mentioned, despite their problems, which we will get to when revealing their lineup very shortly, have taken 2 points from 2, drawing both their games against Sweden and England. And as you can see there, Sweden and England of course have got a point apiece, which has come against the Moroccans in their respective matches, which of course England against Sweden to come right after us on this pitch. On the 4G as the Japanese players right in front of me come out onto the field of play with their flag being held up by 2 of the volunteers in dark sort of green, or sorry, light green I should say, and the Moroccan team with their red flag and the green star in the middle being brought onto the field, with them standing behind them, with the volunteers of course holding it out for the spectators, as there are some of the crowd here in attendance as we are about to hear the national anthems of both Japan and Morocco as they are about to play their 3rd and final group game of this women's blind football tournament here in Birmingham, as the action will get underway before the national anthem.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you're able for the
national anthems. The national anthem of Japan. And now the national anthem of Morocco.
مشرق الأنوار موجب السردة وحمار منتدى وحمار عيش في الأوطان ذكرى كل إنسان بالروح بالجسد هب فتان هب نداء في فمي وفي دمي وكسر ونار إخوتي هيا للعلا سيا ننشد الدنيا همنا نحيا بشعار الله الوطن الملك.
So the anthem's done, as the
Ladies and gentlemen,
players will be
introducing our two
moving
teams.
over to their respective
Starting with
sides of the pitch. Well, this isn't the only fixture to take place today. It is a big old day of football in both the women's and the men's tournament. 2 women's matches. The first of the 2 kicking off, well, will be kicking off shortly in Japan against Morocco. 10:30, England against Sweden from this group. And then in the men's, the Japanese play against Thailand in an all-Asian clash. Turkey against Italy is at 2:30. And then the England men's will take to the field at 4:30 against Argentina. And there will also be a 6:30 game as China will take on Germany in the other game in Group B. Well, let's take a check on the teams then, starting with Japan, who line up like this. They have number 1, Rina Wachi in goal. Number 7 is Mako Takeuchi, and skipper in the side. Number 8 is Rika Suzuki. Number 10, she's been a real star of the show for the Japanese so far in this tournament. Can she bring her A game with her today? It's Sora Kikushima. And number 13 to complete the lineup is Hana Shimatani. With the substitutes then, Machiko Terabayashi, Miwako Kaga, Haruka Wakazuki, Shika Tanaka, and also the last of the substitutes, it is the Haruka Wakazuki, with the head coach Yamamoto Natsuki, and then the guide is Keichiro Iwatomi, or Natsuki Yamamoto, I beg your pardon, is the head coach. Well, we know about the Moroccans' situation. They've been very plucky. They played their first game of the tournament against Sweden with only 4 players. They now do have 5, but that is the only 5 they've got. They have Amri Hasni in goal. They then have the rest of the outfielders, number 10, Nerdir Umeima. They then have number 8 in the side, Beruan Hani, with number 6, Chubaba Fatima Zara, and number 7 is Budiab Aumeima. And of course they are coached by El Hassan Jardini, with the guide, like the men's side, being Said Himi, as he is of course combining his role with the men's side as well as the women's side. Well, the 2 captains with their goalkeepers are in the middle, and of course are exchanging the sort of traditional pendants, as the 2 officials in all black, all female as well, are just overseeing the sort of coin toss to see who will kick off first and which side will have what side. Morocco with no doubt their hardest game of this group against the Japanese side, who, if you were probably having to say who the finalists would be based on the first 2 games in the group stages, it would be them and Argentina, but we do know that is never a formality, and you have to earn the right to be in the final and not just think you've got to turn up and win. But no doubt the Japanese won't be thinking like that, as of course they are playing out in their all blue kit, so familiar with football in any level, whether it's blind football, partially sighted, or of course the sighted football. There is a real resplendent kit. Morocco in all green, by the way. The referees then, Hilary Ramirez, Julia Calbo, Lucio Morgado and Oya Kachar. The scorer is Stefan Milinkovic, and the timekeeper is Mayara Crispim, as it will be Japan who have got the end closest to me. They are going to be kicking from right to left in this first half. Morocco in all green will be going from left to right. So the 2 unbeaten sides in Group A going face to face. Japan already assured of top spot after their 2 wins from 2, yet to concede a goal in their 2 games in this tournament. Morocco have been a surprise package with 2 draws in their opening 2 games despite their issues, but it's not affected them one little bit. They've just got on with their business and have been able to get 2 good draws, in which of course as well, when they played England just a few days ago, they had to contend with the fact that England would miss a penalty in that game and get a 0-0 draw. And against Sweden, they would manage to, in their first game and the first game of the women's tournament, get a 1-1 draw. As it will be Morocco who will get us started. The two officials just jogging away from the centre circle in all black. And they'll just go through their final checks before they are satisfied that everybody's ready and we are able to get this game underway. Hilary Ramirez, the referee on the near side. Julia Calbo is the referee on the far side. As it will be Morocco who get us underway. So a big day in Group A. Comes to an end here in the group stages, the first of the two groups. Japan, we know, will be assured of top spot. If Morocco were to win, it would not matter what would happen in the game between Sweden and England, because they would be in second, as it's a very, very early corner here to Morocco. They weren't actually convinced that they had got themselves a corner, but the referee Hilary Ramirez said that there was a touch off at blue shirt. So Morocco will have a corner as Birouane Hani is behind the number 10, Nadir Umeima. She hits it against the Japanese number 10, Sora Kikushima. It's inside the Japanese penalty area, but they balled it out well with Rika Suzuki. She still goes on it. She's going up to the 14-metre line. Good challenge, though, by Umeima. Back helping her defence out as she stayed with Rika Suzuki all the way. Ball is lurking around the Moroccan penalty area in their own half, but they've been able to bring it clear with Nadir Umeima, who clears it all the way straight through to the Japanese goalkeeper Rina Wachi, who gets her first touches of the ball and gets the ball in her gloves, and bringing it from the near sideboard is Sora Kikushima, but she just lost control of it. She is over on the near side now of the sideboards. She was coming towards the halfway line. It's a lovely ball to try and find Hana Shimatani. She's coming in. Coming from the near side, for far side I should say, but she did lose out. Well, the number 8 for Morocco, Birouane Hani, really put in a shift in the very last game against England. That's been the real story of Morocco in this tournament. They've been so good at just putting in the maximum effort. Really sort of the statement of 110% effort has really applied to the Moroccan side. Certainly, as we've mentioned, have not been without their issues. They played the first game against Sweden with only 4 players. They had to have an outfielder in goal, but it hasn't affected them. They've got 2 good draws heading into this one against Japan. They were pretty good in their first 2 games. They're going to have to be outstanding if they are to stop a Japanese side who have just wiped the floor with both England and Sweden in their games, winning both of them, conceding a total of 0 goals and scoring 6 in the process. As Japan are inside their own half, and the shot comes in, and it's one that's wide from Birouane Hani, we were just speaking about just a few moments ago. She got the shot away. There was a bit of uncertainty in the Japanese defence as to who was going to get on the ball. There was 3 players sort of 6 metres out towards their own penalty area, and Hani sensed the uncertainty. She got her shot away. She ran through the middle. She was just direct and hit it right-footed low, just away from Rina Wachi's goal, but it was an attempt that she could see go past her and not, of course, be able to make a save from. Japan in possession with Mako Takeuchi, the skipper of the side. Whether they Morocco have won it, Birouane Hani, who did win it, is tussling with Takeuchi. Forward she comes. Japan inside their own half of the pitch in their defensive third with Suzuki. Now goes forward, and they come forward here with Hana Shimatani. against two Moroccan players trying to go through them as she goes past the 8-metre spot into the area. She goes and scores. Shimatani finds a way through, and Japan, Group A's runaway leaders, have struck in their very last game. No sign of slacking off in their very last group game, and they've struck very early on in their final group match against the Moroccans, as it is Japan 1, Morocco 0, and Hana Shimatani's persistence sees Japan in the lead. Well, she didn't give up. She just carried on running and just hoped to get a break, and she did. She eventually got into the penalty area, and she was just a few metres away from actually being inside the keeper's area. She was 1v1, staring at the goalkeeper, and she would left-footed, cleverly hit it into the back of the net and put Japan 1-0 up here in this encounter. With the game just a few minutes old, it is Japan 1, Morocco 0, as they seek to complete a perfect group stage record of 3 wins from 3. They're going the right way about it with that goal from Hana Shimatani. And it is now Nadir Umeima. They did trail in their first game, remember, Morocco, and were to draw against Sweden, so they have had history of coming back to get positive results, but they are facing the best of the best from this group, as I've mentioned. As inside her own half, Kikushima now is on the ball. Closed down well by Berwan Hani. Kikushima gets her body up against Hani. Inside her own penalty area is Rika Suzuki. Hani trying to win it off her. Kikushima there to help out Suzuki, her teammate. There's 2 Moroccan players to Kikushima, who's inside her own area, closing it down, but Japan come away with it. Here's the captain, Takeuchi. Still she goes on. She shakes off Umeima. And the play has been stopped because Umeima's eye mask has come off, and she's just stuck her right arm in the air. Julia Calbo, the referee, acknowledging it, and Hilary Ramirez just going over to her to just give her eye mask to the Moroccan number 10. So it is a Japan free kick. First foul of the day for the Moroccans. Remember, if you concede 5 fouls, you automatically give the other team a penalty. We saw yesterday in the Iran-Brazil game, Iran were defensively very strong and very stout against the Brazilians, but it was the 5 foul rule that cost them, because Brazil would score with a Casio Lopez penalty that would result in that being the only goal of the game. As it will be a Japan free kick between the 8-metre spot and the 14-metre line. So if we're working it out to be specific, we're talking probably about sort of 12 metres out this, about 5 metres infield from the near board. Kikushima and Takeuchi are the 2 Japanese players looking at this. No doubt they're going to just pass between them that will eventually lead to a shot. I think it would be very audacious to try a shot from this sort of range with 3 Moroccan players in the wall. And then Hani a little bit away from that, as they are inside the penalty area of their own with this 3-woman wall. Japan certainly taking their time over this, but there is, of course, the guide tapping away at the post, Kichiro Iatoma. Takeuchi just with a blue trainers, just with a foot on the ball at the moment. It is a very quiet atmosphere here. It has to be, of course, to help the players, as the trees around the stadium are blowing. So there's a bit of a breeze here in England's second city at the moment. Julia Calbo not happy with something. Maybe looks as though the Morocco wall is not quite to her liking. Just making sure that that remains in check. Once again, the Japanese guide Keiichiro Iatoma taps away at the posts. They've had a long time to think about what they're going to do from this free kick, or they already made their decision early on. They have now taken it. Shot by Takeuchi to Kikushima. However, they're the Morocco wall out as a unit. Not to close down the Japanese free kick, which doesn't quite come off. Is better one. Hani, though. Still she goes on towards the penalty area. The ball will go in there. She will go in there as well. It has gone off a Japanese player last, and it will be Morocco corner. Rika Suzuki with her right foot puts it out of play for a Morocco corner. But certainly, Berwan Hani was trying to bear down on goal. Eventually, Japan were able to get players back to not allow her to get a shot away of some sort, and eventually concede the corner. And the Morocco captain is over on the near side looking to take this corner. He's behind Umeima, who will take it. Japan now coming with it with Takeuchi. Nadir Umeima tried to take her down, but she keeps her balance and stays on her feet, does Takeuchi. Good work by her. She goes down again. However, though, it's a very good challenge. It will be a Japan corner. We have just under 10 minutes of this first half to play. Japan in the lead with a goal through Hana Shimatani. Scored within the first few minutes of this encounter. Remember, England against Sweden is to come straight after us in this group. England, of course, looking to get a win, because if Morocco were to lose, that would open the door for Sweden or England to get second spot behind the Japanese, who are already assured of top spot going into their final group game. Corner comes to nothing. It's just sort of bobbling around in the centre circle. It's now Morocco have it with Nadir Umeima. She's carrying on though. There's two Japanese players trying to close her down. She just bumps into Kikushima. It will go out of play for a goal kick. Nothing wrong with that foul. It was good work by Kikushima. Just sort of put her body up against Umeima, who went down, and the officials quite right to not allow that to be a free kick. Throwing out towards the far sideboard. Shimatani trying to get the better of Tuba Fatimazara, but the Moroccan defence is able to get it clear. One thing you can say about Morocco, and we've seen with quite a lot of these sides in this tournament, defensively they've been okay in this game and have been quite strong in the two previous matches, and it's carrying them with them today as Shimatani gets the shot away. It's a low effort, left-footed, same foot she would score the only goal of the game from in this encounter, but it would be going and go straight through to Amri Hasni, who would make a straightforward stop in her bright orange gloves. It is now Hani, just checks back and faces her own teammate Nadir Umeima, who will look to try and shoot here if she can. She's inside the penalty area, but back defending is Rika Suzuki, who just slices it clear and brings the ball out of her own defensive final third. Kikushima put into the corner, put onto the boards by Hani, who's closing it down. The ball is moving. Kikushima tries to get out of a real tight spot in an awkward position. Morocco come away with it though. Is Umeima, and straight into Suzuki, who's trying to clear it. Does so. She stands her ground very, very well, does Rika Suzuki. There's been a couple of times Umeima's got inside the Japanese penalty area, but has not been able to just get that shot away, because Rika Suzuki has been there to deny it and not allow her to do so. As Japan try and get themselves in possession. Umeima, though, has stolen it, looking to carry on. However, though, this time Sora Kikushima is there to stop her. Now Kikushima's kicking into gear, looking to forge a chance for herself. It's really good dribbling by the number 10. She's capable of that. And the shot she fires towards goal is off target. One that doesn't test, Amri Hasni. As Japan on the march to try and get a second goal. Were quite close to doing so. Kikushima over the 14-metre line from her left foot to her right foot. She then struck it. It was a well-hit effort, to be fair, from her, but never ever going to test Amri Hasni, who knew very early on that it was an attempt that was well off target. As there is a timeout called in Morocco's favour, with 7 minutes to be exact left on the clock. Well, here's some of the pick of the highlights from this game so far. Morocco didn't have the first chance registered on goal through Berouane Khani, and then this would be the goal from Hana Shimatani. She would be persistent, she wouldn't give up. She thought, if there's a chance of me scoring as I get close to the goal, I'm going to do so, and she carried on. And she got exactly what she intended for and got what she came for, which was to go through the Moroccan defence and be able to score. Fired it in left-footed, away to the keeper's left, who dived at her feet. But still, Shimatani was able to score and put the Japanese side into the lead here in this Group A encounter. And that, as it stands, is the only goal of the game. There's also another opportunity for Shimatani, which will just go on through to the keeper, Amri Hasni, a little bit further out with that last attempt that she would have, and then Kikushima just a few moments ago would go close herself. She's shown to have been brilliant in this tournament at times, excelled for the Japanese. She tried to create some magic and a memorable moment with that attempt from around sort of 10 or so metres out, but she would fire it wide of Hasni's near post. There's Yulia Kauba, the referee, in all black. Checks the mask of Sora Kikushima as the Moroccan men's side is in attendance. Of course, they were winners yesterday against Mexico. Abderrazak Khattab, the captain, hit 3 goals in their win against Mexico. All 3 of them were scored by him. Game is back underway, with Japan in possession inside their own half as Kikushima fires it with a powerful pass over to the far sideboard for Mako Takeuchi. Of course, the luxury that Japan have is the chance to make roll-on, roll-off subs. Morocco don't have that. They have got the 5. That's it. Whereas Japan have got a full 10-team squad, which of course is the maximum you can have. Here's Shimatani trying to bring it out towards the 14-metre line of her own half, but it just cannons off the back of her foot and slows her down, and the ball is away from her. Kikushima now on it for Japan. Just going to use the boards as her help as the ball is with her. Suzuki's just letting the ball travel to her, but I think trying to get a hold of it was the number 7, Takeuchi. Will be a free kick to Japan. There was a little barge in there on the Japanese player, so that's the second foul of this first half for Morocco. Yulia Kauba spotting it, and he's just telling Nadir Umeima just to step back to allow Japan to take this free kick. Just to the right and a metre in front of the 8-metre spot. Again, Umeima is just having an eye mask checked by the officials. The free kick will be taken. Kikushima, right-footed, looking out to find Takeuchi. Red armband on the left side of her shirt. Now finds the goal scorer, Hana Shimatani. She now goes out towards the far side. They've not been afraid to pass the ball along the floor of the Japanese. And they're doing so here. Nice combination play between Takeuchi and Shimatani into the penalty area. Spilled by Hasni, she can't go out and claim it. Into the penalty area still. Shimatani on the rebound. Gets her second. Gets Japan's second. And Japan lead by 2-0. Brilliant build-up play to set up the chance. It was her and Takeuchi who were the players who set up the chance. Shimatani would shoot. The keeper, Hasni, couldn't hold on to it. And then the ball was inside the penalty area and Shimatani was able to fire it in high past the keeper in the second attempt. And Japan have a second and clear daylight between themselves and Morocco with just over 5 minutes to play. And it came to Shimatani. Goalkeeper Hasni spilt it. May have been able to probably caught that. Good the goalkeeper if we're going to be a bit critical, but it was a powerful effort to be fair, driven straight at her. But Shimatani, left-footed, saw her first shot saved, spilled back out into the middle of the pitch, and there to fire it in, left-footed, high into the goal, was Shimatani. As Japan are 2 goals up. Here is Nadir Umeima is down, being consoled by Sora Kikushima. One number 10 to another number 10 is seeing if the other one is all right. So Japan making a substitution. Okay, Takeuchi is going to come off as there was just that little collision between Kikushima and Umeima. That did class as a foul, so the first one of the half for Japan. As I mentioned, Kikushima off and Haruka Wakasuki is onto the pitch. As Umeima is once again having a nice check by the referee. It's happened quite regularly in this first half where Umeima's just having a double check of her sort of mask and seeing if it is all okay. Morocco take the free kick then. Going towards the halfway line is Umeima. Although Japan have been able to win it. It was Takeuchi, by the way, who was substituted. My apologies for that. Kikushima is still on the pitch. So it is the Japan captain who has gone off for now. Of course, it is roll-on, roll-off subs in line football, so we may see Takeuchi for a little bit of this first half potentially, or even the second half. Into the gloves of Hasni, rolls it out along the floor to the far side to Nadir Umeima. Trying to dribble away from 2 Japanese players. She does so in getting away from Wakazuki and Shimatani. Kani for Umeima. Kasuki is there though to intercept. She's been closed down quickly by Umeima. Kikushima kicking it against Hani. Chases on for the second ball. Suzuki forced to put it up for a corner. Good work that by Hani. Quite clever because she knows she's not going to steal a march and win the ball off her, so she can just make it difficult for her and put her under pressure and give a little sort of subtle little knock into her to force her to put it up for a corner. There was nothing wrong with it. Just brilliant, clever thinking by Hani. But can Morocco get a goal to half the deficit as they are chasing this game down? Corner's taken. Umeima close to the penalty spot. She's just a few metres away from being inside it. The Japanese defence though remains strong and not getting past that wall that's in front of them. Now the Moroccans, Kikushima. Hani backing into her, and Hani is there on the touch. Ball is stationary at the moment. Any touch will do. Hani with the touch. There's Umeima who hits it. Blocked by the right thigh of Rika Suzuki. She's been very much in front of shots and in front of players, isn't he? And made some strong tackles in this first half. Here's now Hani. Still goes on. Crowded out. Inside the penalty area. And then instead of just picking the ball up, Rina Wachi just clears it away. She probably wasn't sure if the ball was inside her area, so just thought quickly on her feet and just decided to just send it clear and not run the risk in her own mind of being penalised for picking the ball outside of her area, which of course in blind football goalkeepers are not allowed to do. Shimatani now to Kikushima. Just lets the ball hit the board. Kikushima hits it against the right arm of Pani, which was down by her side. Here's Umeima. Hurried by Shimatani, who's making this very awkward for Umeima, who's down. Seems as though she got a little clip on the back of her head from, I think, a trailing foot from a Japanese player. Shimatani inside the penalty area. We'll go out for a Japan corner, but before it can be taken, maybe Nadir Umeima can get some treatment, as she still got her right hand to the back of her head. She did go down. It might have just been a clear accidental touch to the back of her head. It does look as though there has been a timeout called. Umeima has now gone down, so she can possibly receive some treatment. She's just down on the sort of 14-metre line towards the far side. As Amri Hasni is going over to just see if she's okay. She is still receiving treatment. There is a timeout for both sides. A chance to hear the instructions from the coach and to hear some tactical tweaks that they might make. Whilst Umeima is receiving some treatment, she doesn't look good in terms of how she's doing at the moment. Morocco are trailing with just under 2 minutes to play. Well, here is this incident that led to Umeima getting some treatment. She was battling away with Wakazugi. She then went down. Now she's down. Yeah, there was just a little accidental knee by Wakasugi into the head of Umeima. No doubt they do hurt when you get a bit of a bump to the back of the head. Can certainly make you feel a little bit dazed, a little bit dizzy. That is for sure. She is back up to her feet, which is good to see. Is Nadir Umeima. Of course, the medics are coming to her aid. She is back up to her feet. Of course, if she does go off, Morocco will be one player light. They have got 5. That's all they've got. They don't have the luxury or the sort of opportunity that Japan do to make changes. Of course, with these sort of head injuries that are happening in football and the sort of need to make sure that the player is all right to carry on and all the protocols and all the stigma around that, they will be very extra cautious to see if Umeima is okay. Health does come first, doesn't it? That's the most important thing, and Amri Hasni is just trying to maybe give her some help and just try and get her to surroundings, but she has just put her mask back on. And she does look like she is going to be continuing. She just gets herself into the 3-position wall. So, doesn't look like she's going to need some further treatment until maybe the end of this first half and in the sort of 10-minute interval. So Japan will have a corner kick over on this right side. No doubt the Morocco coach El Hassan Jardini will keep a very close watch on her on his number 10. Corner is taken. Shimatani dribbling away from that far side. Hani with the foot in. Umeima is battling away, looking to just carry it inside the Japanese half at least. She's a long, long way from goal. She's a long, long way from home. She's halfway between both. But there is Sora Kikushima to win it and not allow Morocco to carry on. However, though, Mayman now has it on the near side. Coming towards the penalty area. The ball is in there. She's not, though. And touched out for a corner kick by Rika Suzuki. She's had a fine half, hasn't she? Is the Japan number 8 in the bright orange trainers. And there will be a change for Japan. Ichika Tanaka is going to be coming on, as Hana Shimatani is going to be replaced. She's got 2 in this game, the only 2 goals of the game. And she's going to be coming off for the sort of final 84 seconds that remain of this half, as Ichika Tanaka will come on for Japan. Corner taken on the near side, right in front of me in the commentary position. Morocco player down, which is Berwan Hani. Good challenge by Ichika Tanaka. Now here comes Wakasugi. She still goes on here. She can get into the penalty area here. The ball is in there, so is she, but she misses it. And the free kick has been pulled back by Hilary Ramirez. There was a pull on the Japan player's shirt. She did try to let the advantage go on, but eventually when the ball was missed by Wakasugi, she felt the need to pull that back. Good bit of refereeing that by Hilary Ramirez, as Japan have got themselves a free kick about 7 metres out in a central position, as that's the 3rd foul of this half for Morocco. 2 more and Japan get themselves a penalty. So Kikushima is there, as well as Wakazugi. The 4 Moroccan outfielders all in this wall, protecting and providing a fort in front of the goalkeeper, Amri Hasni. Central position this. Ichika Tanaka's in a very interesting position. She's sort of right on the sort of edge of the right-hand side. She takes 1 step with both her feet. She's inside the penalty area. That's how close she is. So, of course, the guide is tapping away at the post. Goes on the right of Hasni's post first of all. Then he will go to the left. Which he will do now as he runs up from the bottom of it to the top of it. So Japan have a free kick here and a chance to go 3-0 up. Kikushima may take it. It's rolled into her and she shoots, and it's high and wide of the left side of Hasni's goal. She just got that little touch in front of her. She was given the go-ahead to have a shot, which she did. It was one that she couldn't keep down. Not quite been able to have her shooting boots on in this game as Sora Kikushima. As the effort was wide of the goal. Restart won't happen just yet. Ramirez is speaking to someone on the side of the pitch. So we're just under a minute left to play. Well, the Japan free kick from Kikushima took a couple of touches, then let fly. Certainly not the right sort of position in terms of trying to strike the ball. She was a little bit straighter. That would have been on target. Certainly would have at least got a save out of the keeper Hasni, but she was a little bit wide in her positioning, and the strike was off target. Here's Umeima now for Morocco. It's been said quite a lot in this game, whether it's been sort of because the refs have checked her eye mask, or she's had an injury, or she's just tried to generally try and get her team kicking and screaming, as the ball is stationary at the moment. Does, however, though, move into Morocco's half of the pitch. Now inside the centre circle is Umeima, battling with Kikushima. Batter the number 10s on the pitch. Now Umeima coming through, gets the shot away. Fair old way out. It will go out of play for a goal kick. She was about 13 metres out when that effort went wide. More a shot out of desperation more than anything else from Nadir Umeima, as it was a low effort which went out of play for a goal kick. Well, the seconds are ticking down here. Forward by Wakazugi. Back on the ball again is the Japan number 14. Scoops it towards the near sideboard, and as they buzz it to signal the end of the first half, well, Japan are just 15 minutes away from completing a group stage record of 3 wins out of 3. Hana Shimatani with both the goals has seen Japan race into a 2-0 lead. The first of her goals was her just being persistent, not giving up, thinking there was still a chance to score, and she would run through the middle, go inside the penalty area, and then fire it left-footed low past Amri Hasni. She'd also have another attempt which would bobble on through to the goalkeeper Sora Kikushima, who was strong and excellent in the first game against England. Has had a couple of opportunities herself, a little bit off target. While she's not been able to get her shots away, Hana Shimatani, anything but that, the complete opposite. Her second goal, she would be denied the first time. The ball in the penalty area would just fall kindly to her, and she would put it away with a left-footed high finish that would end up going into the net and putting the Japanese 2 goals up. They are very good value for the lead. No signs of rest in the Japan camp in this third and final group stage game. It is at half-time here in the opening game of the day in the women's blind football tournament. Japan 2, Morocco 0, as we're going to show you now a little guide to blind football and a word from our sponsors IBSA.
It's fast, technical and tense. This is your guide to five-a-side football. There are 5 players per team, 4 outfield players and a goalkeeper. The aim of the sport is to score a goal by kicking the ball into your opponent's goal, and at the end of the game, whoever scored the most wins. Players must wear eye shades to ensure that all players have the same level of vision. That is apart from the goalkeepers, who aren't required to wear eye shades and can be fully sighted. Their job is to keep the ball from going in the goal behind them. But how do the players on the field know where the ball, or indeed the goal, is? Well, the ball in blind football is specially designed to make sound whenever it moves. Also, each team has a guide behind the opposition goal to help direct them. Each player is required to shout "Voy" when going for the ball. This ensures every player has the cues they need to help build a picture of what's going on and what to do next in defence or attack. To help this, total silence is required from the crowd until a goal goes in. Voy is Spanish for go, and it was the Spanish who were credited with originally developing blind football in the 1920s. As well as the Paralympics, teams from all corners of the world can compete at World, European, Asian, African and America's Championships, as well as a World Grand Prix.
Blind football can be played by both men and women, with the historic first Women's World Championships coming up in 2023.
So what are you waiting for? Give it a try.
IBSA, International Blind Sports Federation, presents, with the support of the International Paralympic Committee, IBSA Anti-Doping App, the first application of its kind in the Paralympic movement, specifically designed for blind and visually impaired people. Athletes, coaches, medical staff, managers, and the public in general now have a powerful tool to stay focused on the principles of clean sport. Scrolling down the main menu, you can find all the important themes you need to know to play fair and be alert to testing procedures and necessary adaptations for athletes with visual impairments. IBSA gives top priority to anti-doping control, being the only international federation with 3 sports in the Paralympic family: goalball, football, and judo. IBSA Anti-Doping App has external links, namely to WADA, where our sport agents can always find the most updated information, especially the list of prohibited substances and methods. Glory in sport can only be achieved by the athlete's awareness of their rights and responsibilities. You can find them on the IBSA Anti-Doping App. IBSA is continuously promoting anti-doping education to all its affiliate athletes and sport agents, not only about the consequences of the use of doping and the risk of using supplements. IBSA believes that education is the major tool to fight doping in sport. Informed athletes can make better decisions. Download the app now at the usual operating system stores.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have seen history being made today.
Such a great team at these championships.
IBSA. Beyond sight. Feel the sport.
it is the second half that's almost upon us. It is Japan who lead by 2-0 against Morocco. The final 15 minutes of group stage action for both these sides. It will be Japan from left to right in this second half that will get us underway in their all dark blue shirts, which is so synonymous with Japanese football, isn't it? In any sort of level. And of course next up are England, as they are going to be up against Sweden, as there are some sort of England supporters in the crowd. There's even a Japanese flag as well to emphasise the support for the Japanese women's players on the pitch here. They're up against Morocco, who will go from right to left there in all dark green. The goalkeeper Amri Hasni in a sort of lightish blue shirt and shorts with white socks. The Japan goalkeeper in all yellow. As we get this game underway, in for this second half is Ichika Tanaka. Just a little bit of a sliced sort of pass, which does find a teammate of hers on the near side, which is Mako Takeuchi, who's gone on. Kikushima though battling and winning it off Umeima. Going off for Japan was Haruka Wakazugi. She's gone off. She did end the first half, so there has been a change at the break for Japan. Morocco, it is as you were. Of course, they've only got 5 players, so they cannot make a sub, so they have to last the distance. Boudiab Umeima was just thinking about pursuing the chase with Mako Takeuchi, but she decided to just let it run and let it go out of play for a goal kick, or a restart for her side, I should say, which is thrown out by Amri Hasni. Two sides then, just quickly. Japan have Rina Wachi in goal. They have Rika Suzuki, Sora Kikushima, Hana Shimatani and Mako Takeuchi in their team. They have Rina Wachi in goal. For Morocco, it's Amri Hasni in goal. They have number 6, Chuba Fatima Zara. Number 7, Boudiab Umeima. Number 8, Berwan Khani. And number 10, Nadir Umeima. As it will be a ball that will be Morocco with the play stopped. The officials were not at all satisfied with, I think, Moroccan players' sort of eye protection, which was Berwan Khani. So it's going to be an uncontested drop ball here, which will land at the feet of Nadir Umeima. Seems as though she's shaken off that little knock she had to the back of her head towards the end of the first half. Good to see. What Morocco don't want to be is depleted and have 4 players playing like they did against Sweden in their opening game. Umeima down. Was she fouled? Referee says no. Quickly back up though from the floor. No appeals, and it looks as though she just sort of ran into a player of her own, I think, in Hani, or even a Japanese player. Ichika Tanaka just lost her foot in. She's able to play the pass. Hani with the challenge. Here's Umeima fending off with her left arm out to not allow Kikushima to get there. Can Umeima get a shot away? She's 8 metres out. She's just forced at least 2 metres back or so. Just over the 14-metre line in the Japan half. Here's Umeima. Now Hani looking to shoot low. Blocked by Kikushima. Now Ichika Tanaka is on the ball. But then there's a touch from Hani, and out of play it goes for a Japan restart, which is thrown out quickly by Rina Wachi, looking to just catch the Moroccan cold. So it goes out towards Takeuchi. Blocked off by Chuba Fatima Zara. Japan with a free kick, and the first foul of the second half is the Moroccan one, of course. It starts at 0-0 on the foul count each half, doesn't it? Morocco conceded 3 fouls in that first half. 2 more, they would have gave away a penalty. 1 already conceded in the second half. And we are nearly 2.5 minutes into it, with Japan leading by 2-0. They were able to coast against England because of a brilliant, dominant first half display, which blew the host nation away. Bit more tougher against Sweden for Japan, where they had to be pretty much having the performance levels right the way through and the appetite to keep scoring. Here they are 2-0 up. Don't really look like they're going to have that lead under threat. from the Moroccans, if we're being brutally honest. So maybe they'll look to get a third, get it early, and then just see the game through and just sort of have autopilot on. But it's a Japan free kick, about 13 metres out here. Takeuchi, the captain, in front of Sora Kikushima. They're going to just play this along the floor, this indirect free kick. It's for the first time in this second half we see the guide for Japan, Kichido Iyatoma. Go from one post to the other. As he signals to the Japan players who are taking this free kick. There the posts are. Shot comes in by Takeuchi, it's on target. 9 metres out or so, but easy standard keeping for Amri Hasni. She's thrown it out after catching the ball, and inside the Japan half now. Morocco are inside the penalty area. Can Hasni get the shot away? It's Umeima! Big opportunity which he's not taken. Really, that had to go in. Their biggest, brightest moment fell to Nadir Umeima, and she's unable to score. Is now Ichika Tanaka. Good close control by the Japan number 16. She's trying to get away from Budiaba Umeima. She's done well into the penalty area. She was on a very tight angle towards Hasni's goal. She got the shot away, but it did just hit the outside of the lower end of the post. Well, this was the Japan chance from the free kick. Takeuchi was able to shoot left-footed. Was a very good effort, actually, from a fair old way out. And then, not long after, Morocco had their best opportunity of the entire game. Umeima was able to get the shot away. Hani just poked it through to her, and she hit it, but it was straight at the keeper, Rina Wachi. And then there was a big opportunity for Japan. Would have been a very difficult finish for Ichika Tanaka to have nailed, and to be fair, she couldn't quite do it. She put it wide of the keeper, Amri Hasni's goal, away to her left as it hit the outside of the low end of the goal and was off target. Nadir Umeima now in possession for Morocco. Coming up to the halfway line now inside the Japan half. Closed down very quickly as the Japanese press hard. Right in the middle of the pitch, there was 3 closing it down in Tanaka, Kikushima and Takeuchi. It is now Ichika Tanaka. Substitute. Ball is a good one along the floor to Takeuchi. She just lets it come off the sideboards. Always a big helping hand for the players on the pitch, isn't it, those sideboards, as Umeima clears. Japan have it. In possession is Kikushima. Hani making it difficult for her, and Imask has gone off. Umeima's put her right arm in the air. So Yulia Calbo has to stop the play. Certainly made that easy for the referee. Did Umeima with her eye mask or eye protection coming off. Not the first time that's happened to her in this game. And of course, once it does fall off and then goes back on, the nearest official to her has to just make sure that all is well moving forward for her to continue. As everybody knows, those eye protections are a way of using as no sort of advantage of any sort, and there is a yellow card actually to Umeima. I think it's for the persistent fact that Umeima keeps coming off, which is something we haven't yet seen in this tournament. She has been shown a yellow card. Morocco's manager or head coach, whatever you prefer, El Hassan Jardini, is not too happy. He is getting an explanation, I think, from one of the sort of officials off the side of the pitch as to what the reason is. Still looks like there is a bit of a conversation going on there. They're a little bit baffled. I think they've just been told to just rein it in a little bit here, as the action is yet to start. So it is a Japan free kick. Oh, sorry, it will be an uncontested drop ball, I should say. There was no foul against Morocco. So it has now landed at the feet of Umeima. Backing in and battling with Kikushima. Little touch to Mako Takeuchi. Umeima just forcing her back and doing very, very well. A grand job in that sense. But there to help out Takeuchi was her teammate Sora Kikushima. He will then knock it back to the goalkeeper, Rina Wachi. Well, she tried to anyway. Of course, it was beyond her in her box, so she can't come out and get it. Here's a chance, though, for Morocco. Hani, who will shoot. Very tough angle, and it will go out of play. And Japan have made a change, actually, in the goal. Machiko Terabayashi has gone on in place of Rina Wachi, so she's going to get some minutes in this game. Ichika Tanaka looking to carry on. Challenge well, won the ball fairly, did the Moroccans. Here's now Nadir Umeima. He was lost out. Now Japan have it with Tanaka. She's the furthest offensive player, and yet she's on the halfway line inside her own half as Morocco win it with Umeima. Ball carrying a fair old way. Over though Japan are able to nick it off. The Moroccans have now come forward themselves. It's Kikushima going towards the penalty area, will she? She won't go in there because she will strike just outside it and will get herself a goal, and it will be 3-0 to Japan. Fired in past the goalkeeper, Amri Hasni, and Japan have managed to make the lead more handsome in their favour, and it's Sora Kikushima who scores with a wonderful finish, and Japan add a third to this game and make it 3-0. It was that much of a powerful strike that the goalkeeper, Amri Hasni, has pushed it aside to her right and into the bottom corner. And she just sort of near enough put her face into the turf. Japan, who won handsomely against England, winning 5-0. 1-0 winners against Sweden. So they have now scored 9 goals in 3 games. So on the averages, it's 3 a game, isn't it? That they've managed to score, and they do look strong, don't they? And it will take some side to beat them. You'd have to say Argentina have looked good so far on the women's side of the draw. But in terms of Group A, nobody has been able to thwart and stop the Japanese, as before we can get the game back underway, Barawan Hani is having just some more white tape and put on her eyes before, of course, that mask covers over it. Referee Ramirez satisfied with the protection on Barawan Hani, and it will be a restart for Morocco from the halfway line as they kick the game back off. Well, England and Sweden is next in Group A. That is basically winner takes all in that game. Morocco, of course, came into this with 0 goal difference. Now it goes down to -3 because they've shipped in 3 against Japan. England are on -5. Sweden do have a 0 goal difference. But England, with that minus goal difference, if they were to win, it would not matter in the next game as they go on, Japan. And Kikuchima's got a second. She just runs through the middle, carries on going, unopposed, unchallenged. She's got 2. Japan have 4. And it's looking so desperate now for Morocco. They're on the threat of capitulating here. Well, Kikushima just away from Nadir Umeima. They looked so stricken when that goal went in from Sora Kikushima. And Hirimema was banging the turf on the floor. Berwan Han, he looked pretty disgusted, as did the goalkeeper Emre Hasni. But Kikushima, what a strike it was. What a run as well. Well, I certainly said it, shooting in the first half was a little bit off and a little bit wayward. Certainly second half, it has been bang on the money. She has wrote her name into this game, and it's 4-0 to Japan. And with just under 9 minutes to play, the Moroccan side, who going into this game had been really plucky, they'd been living up to the underdog against all odds tag in terms of getting 2 draws, are really up against it against Japan, who have just shown that they are too good and in a class of their own against the Moroccan side, and it really has at times looked like women against girls. As Japan will make a change. Sora Kikushima, game is done perhaps, and she will be replaced as they will make a change here, as the number 14 Haruka Wakatsugi comes back onto the field of play. It will be a corner kick to the Moroccans. Meima getting her right hand out onto the sideboard as she's just trying to dribble away and get away from that area of the pitch. They're going to take it infield. Kazugi not allowing her to do so. Will they get some joy, Morocco, in scoring? They're on the thread of going and not finishing as one of the top 2 sides in Group A. Here is now Takeuchi. She's gone past the halfway line, coming up to the 14-metre line. She's away from there. She's going to get close to the penalty spot, is she? No, she's not. And she is had her shot saved by Amri Hasni, who's been kept very active in the goal. A lot of work she's had to do in this game so far, particularly in this second half, as the ball scampers on through to Machiko Terabayashi, the Japan goalkeeper who came on. Budia Balmeima unable to clear the ball away. Instead it's gone straight to a Japan player. Here's Umeima. Being closed down by Wakazugi. Over there a little touch away, it's gone straight to Mako Takeuchi. 7+ minutes to play, just over that. Japan 4, Morocco 0. 2 for Hana Shimatani and 2 for Sora Kikushima, both off the pitch. See Japan sweeping the Moroccans aside. And not quite in terms of the scoreline, saved the best till last, but there's been another pretty faultless performance, as there does seem to be a bit of an incident here with Wakazugi and Hani, who was being held on to there, to be fair, by Haruka Wakazugi. So it will be a free kick to the Moroccans. 1-1 on the foul count for this second half. So it will be a Morocco free kick inside their own half. Very much now a damage limitation for the African side. So it will be a Morocco free kick. Still we wait for that to be taken. It is now eventually taken on the whistle. Remember, trying to send it forward, doesn't really get a hold of it. Scuffed sort of pass, I think it looked like it was intending to be. Play is stopped again. The referee, Hilary Ramirez. So we'll be at Japan restart here. Now given against Morocco. Three Morocco players in front of it. Timazara and Almeida gone towards that far side for Ichika Tanaka. It will be a goal throw restart for Morocco. It was just sort of slowed down over the last few minutes. Really is just the case Morocco of just trying to not lose by a bigger scoreline. It's a pretty hard result to swallow in terms of the scoreline. Play is stopped by Julia Calbo. Free kick is given. Zumeima is down on the floor. Gone in Japan's favour. She noticed an incident of some sort. It's been tough for Morocco this game. A lot of lessons learned for the Moroccan side. All seem to just come crashing down for them today. Maybe fitness has played a part. Japan, of course, have got a full 10-team squad. Morocco have just got the 5 outfield players, haven't they? It was always going to probably catch up with them at some point, having to play their third game in 4 days. As players stopped again, it's got a little bit scrappy over the last few minutes here. No doubt Morocco just want this game to end quickly as possible. Japan, maybe not so much, as they target a 5th goal. They're certainly rocking up on the goals in this group. Well, in terms of the group then, Japan, of course, as we know, came into the third round of matches already guaranteed top spot. So it's going to be 9 points from a possible 9 for them, as they have, of course, managed to hit 5 against England, 1 against Sweden, and now 4 against Morocco. So that's 10 goals they've scored and 0 that they've not been able to concede. So it's a plus 10 goal difference for them. Morocco losing here, well, that means they're on 2 points. They do have a -4 goal difference. Both England and Sweden on a point apiece. Now, Sweden's goal difference is better than England's, but it is winner takes all. So if Sweden were to draw their game, they would go through because of their positive goal difference ahead of the Moroccans. But England, if they win, would go through as well. Sweden with a win would be through themselves, as that is the picture of Group A heading into the very next game between England and Sweden, which no doubt could be the decider. And yet this result is one that we'll see one of those sides through. Here is now and into the top spot. Here is now Takeuchi, little touch into Ichika Tanaka. They will get on the end of it. She's just taken it a little bit back, a couple of metres back to be precise. Tanaka coming into the middle now, about 8 metres out. Ball just gets stuck underneath her as she's still got it though. Challenged well by Nadiru Meima. There is now Ichika Tanaka. They just can't get the ball off her, can they? It's almost stuck to her like glue. There is now Mako Takeuchi. Umeima challenging. They're still getting their foot in, still making tackles on Morocco. They're still putting the effort in right to the very end. As they know that the top 2 spots are gone for them in this group. Japan, we know, will be top. And how they have been very impressive in that period as Morocco have got themselves a corner. Majko Terabayashi just organising the 4 players. On the pitch still is Suzuki, Tanaka, Wakazugi, and of course the number 7, Mako Takeuchi. The 2 goal scorers, Shimatani and Kikushima, both off the pitch for Japan. So it's a Morocco corner which has been taken. Suzuki will clear it. And she's cleared it out of a penalty area right to the 14-metre line where she's able to chase down her own kick. She still goes on here though. Good challenge by Chuba Fatima Zara. Sends it forward. Hilary Ramirez trying to run out of the way of it. She doesn't want to get a bang into her from any player of Japan or Morocco. Here's Ichika Tanaka inside her own half. Very difficult for her. Umeima's made it very tough for her. And he's closing her down. I think that's gone off the Moroccan player last. It has. And Terabayashi will look to throw it out. But she will not be able to because timeout has been called. As it is still here, Japan 4, Morocco nil with just over 3 minutes to play. Well, Japan were 2 goals up in the first half. They've added another 2 in the second half. Here are those goals. Sora Kikushima getting the first of her 2. Goalkeeper Hasni, well, she should have done a lot better with that. And I think she'll know that if she was able to see that back. Great run by Kikushima. Carried on going. She was intent on getting a shot away. And she got more than that because she was able to score her first of the game. And then it wasn't long after she would get her team's 4th and her 2nd of the day. She just ran through again, the Moroccan side. This time over up towards the far side. Pretty much same sort of distance out, around about sort of 10 metres or so out. And she would just fire it past Hasni, who could get no hand to it at all. Right away to her left. And sort of middle of the goal in that left corner. She was able to find her range and pick her spot. And if you were being critical of her performance in the first half of her shoot, and then second half, it has been absolutely top notch, and she has been bang on with her shooting. And Takeuchi also went close herself. She had a shot which Hasni denied the Japan captain from, and being the 3rd different goal scorer of the day for her country, and unable to add an 11th goal to their World Games campaign, where they are going to be coming top of the group with a perfect record of 3 wins from 3. Here is now Wakazugi. So much time to bring the ball into the Moroccan half of the pitch where all the outfielders were inside their own half. Now is Umeima, closed down by Takeuchi, and there is the shot from Umeima, and Terabayashi has to dive down low to save. Well, finally she's had a save to make. He'd have been forgiven for thinking that she might have been a little bit asleep there, because she's had nothing to do as Majko Terabayashi. But Umeima did get a shot away, a clean strike. He's had the 2 best openings for Morocco in this game. Wakazugi and Takeuchi couldn't stop Umeima. He spotted a bit of a problem, got the shot away, and the keeper saved it. She goes for goal again, right side of the penalty area, and has led to another corner for Morocco. As Umeima is Certainly getting shots away, just not getting the luck to show for it. What is it they say? You tickets, you win the raffle. Certainly would apply to this. Keep taking shots, eventually one will go in. That's just coming into her psyche. Thrown up by Tadabayashi as the corner leads to nothing for Morocco. Ichika Tanaka loses out. Good work by Merwan Khani, who has got the ball. Just drifting over to that far side board where the trees are situated here in the venue here at the University of Birmingham, the Bournebrook pitches, and the trees are still blowing in the distance. There are still supporters in the various seating areas. One's on seats in those sort of dark blue seats. Quite appropriate, of course, as well, because Japan are wearing a dark blue shirt and kit themselves, as Remema now has it. Just under 2 minutes left to go of this group stage campaign for both Japan and Morocco. Ending well for Japan, ending badly for Morocco, who know with this defeat they can't end in the top two. Trying to shield it is the Japan player Haruka Wakatsugi. Just about does, as it does roll on through to the goalkeeper Machiko Tadabayashi. It is now Miwako Kaga who's come on. Takeuchi now on the ball for Japan. Left side, about sort of 8 metres out or so. Does go on through though to Amri Hasni. It's being replaced for Japan is Rika Suzuki as Miwako Kaga has gone on. It's nice to see that all 10 players have featured for Japan in this game. As Kaga will get a bit of a run out. Hani. Nakasugi trying to leave it for the goalkeeper Tadabayashi. Won't quite reach her. She can't claim it. And Hani gets the shot away but hits it wide. Well, she thought she was a lot closer to the goalkeeper's area than what she thought. So she did not quite have her distance in mind. There's two Morocco players trying to clear it. It is Boudiab Almeima who has sent it out for a corner. Her and Juba Fatima Zara were just trying to come together and work out in unison who was going to take control of that situation, and it would be the number 7 Almeima who would put it out for a corner, as we've got 22.7 seconds left of this game. Never ever really felt like Japan weren't going to win this game. As to come next is England-Sweden, with that being the decider to see who comes second in that group. There is now Takeuchi, still goes on. Looks for the shot, left-footed, wide of Hasni's goal. She came in from the near side, all the way into the middle. About 9 metres out or so, she hit the ball and just hit it wide. As it is an overcast day. Certainly a lot more cooler than what it was yesterday in the second city, where it almost felt like the hottest day of the year here in England, but a little bit different the weather and temperature today. Takeuchi goes on, there's the buzzer and there's the full-time sound. Japan with a perfect group stage record. 3 wins from 3. 10 goals scored, none conceded, 9 points from a possible 9, and they have been top-notch in this group stage right the way through, and have managed to stay very consistent and true to themselves by delivering a brilliant performance in their final game against Morocco. They are crestfallen, they are stricken, are now Morocco, who, if England were to win or Sweden were to win or draw, then second place is one of those twos for them and will leapfrog Morocco in to second place. Japan have been so strong, so superior in a league of their own pretty much in this group, as they've managed to make it a 3rd win from 3. 2 in the game for Hana Shimatani and 2 for Sora Kikushima, seeing Japan win by 4-0 and get their second biggest victory of the day. And it's a very nice touch at the end of the game that all the players can shake hands and be in the spirit of these sort of world games and be very much very sporting and respectful of each country and each nation that they play. And it has been like that very much in the athletes' village, and they've been very sort of respectful to one another and have been mingling with other ones too, as the Japanese staff and players bowed to first of all the near side and then to the fans in the stands who have been clapping away and cheering them on. There was a Japanese flag in the crowd which is still there towards the back of the stand, away to the sort of far right, if you like. But it is a Japan victory once again in Group A, as they've been the top dogs in this group. They had a statement win against England. Sweden, they only managed just a 1-goal victory. Against Morocco, though, they're 4-0 victors, and very much look like a team who could be well on course for claiming World Games success. And certainly them and Argentina have been the biggest standouts in this group so far. As they still on the pitch, just waving to the fans, waving to the crowd, are the Japanese. They've certainly enjoyed themselves in this group stage. They finished top as they've beaten Morocco here in the first game of the day. It's finished Japan 4, Morocco 0.